Shalom Aleichem, sweetest friends. We are back for another shiur in our series of shiurim on the Agadatos of Maseches Brachos. In the previous shiur, we learned the beginning of the Mishnah, the beginning of the 5th parak, and onim lispalel ela mitoch koved rosh. We spoke about the idea of davening with a heavy head and what a heavy head means. And that a heavy head is that one's beliefs must influence one's actions, that one's head must weigh heavily on the body, that your thoughts must impact your deeds. When one davens, one has to work very hard that all of his ideas should affect his deeds, that after he finishes davening, he's a different person, he's going to act in different ways than he acted before davening. That was the previous shiur. And now, Morei Rabosai, we continue. Chasidim Arishonim hayu shohin shor achas umispalelin kedei sheyechavnu libam le'aviyam shebashamayim. The earlier Chasidim, not the Chasidim of the Or Shivasiyam of the Baal Shem Tov, but the Chasidim in the time of the Mishnah, those very righteous, pious individuals would tarry for 1 hour. Tarry, I think only Mashiach tarries. That's like a Mashiach word. Even though he tarries, we still wait. But I mean, they would just be sure. They'd wait there for an hour before they would daven in order to direct their heart towards God. Today, we are going to learn a lesson in human anatomy. Human anatomy and the anatomy of prayer. You ready? Hold on tight. Fasten your seatbelts. Put on your snorkelers. We're going down deep. Don't want you to fall off your seats. I want you to be able to keep learning, even though we're so deep. You ready? Gewaldig. Okay. In the first part of the Mishnah, I'm now speaking Hebrew. In the first sentence of the Mishnah, we say, you daven with koved rosh, with heavy head. Now, we move the locus, the focus of the locus, from the head to the art, the lave. The lave, a person has to be a vakish lave in life. You have to seek hearts. To quote the Wizard of Oz, gotta have heart. Gotta have heart. Sorry. What happened? What happened? First you said you down with koved rosh, and now, no. The Hasidim wouldn't wait for an hour before davening in order to make their heads heavy. They'd wait an hour before davening in order to direct their hearts towards God, from the head to the heart. In the previous year, we also mentioned the idea that tefillah is avodah shebelev. So if tefillah is avodah shebelev, it's the service of the heart. Then why koved rosh? We explained because for the average man, the lave is the seat of passion and emotion. And it's hard to get that into HaKadosh Baruch Hu sometimes. It doesn't really, so we get more passionate about other things. You have 90,000 people screaming at the top of their lungs because one oversized man jumped over another oversized man and put a piece of cow's hide with hot air blown inside into a net. And there's millions of people watching on television, and they all jump up and give a goyish yasher koyach, called slapping 5. Oh! They're so excited, they're enthusiastic, they're fanatical. That's the word fan, they're fanatics. Fanatic. But for Avodas Hashem, you don't see the average mincha at like 1:15, in Midtown Manhattan, those minchas in the basements, in the offices, and the here and there. You don't see in the local shuls that fire, that passion. It's hard to get the heart into it. But the brain, you can work on the koved rosh. אבל פתאום, אנחנו מוצאים דבר חדש שלא ראינו בתחילת המשנה. We are seeing that your art must be into it. The Hasidim would be in their art. It makes sense. Tefillah is art. We said it's hard to get your art. It's not for every man. It's art. But that's the heart. It's not the brain. So we switched from the brain to the heart. And here it's the Hasidim, and the first part of the Mishnah is everybody. What's the difference? So as we alluded to, the average man needs his brain to get his heart into it. He has to start with the brain. He has to start with the Koved Rosh. The Hasidim were special people. They didn't want to go, because since the Ikar of Tefillah is the heart, is the emotion, is the passion, is the fire, they didn't want to start with the brain. They wanted to go straight to the heart. And therefore, it's not easy to get the heart into it. They needed an hour. You don't need an hour for Koved Rosh. Koved Rosh is intellectual. You just think, now I'm going to daven to Hashem. Hashem is the greatest. He can do anything. This tefillah is supposed to change me and change what is going on in the upper world. Now I will pray with the knowledge that this prayer will change me as a human being. Right there. You go, you daven, it's a good davening. It's in the brain, something intellectual, you can understand, you can comprehend. But if you're dealing with the emotion, to get somebody to feel, it takes hard work. And to do it every time. Every time you daven, you just daven before you. Daven Shachris at 10:30, 11. Mincha at 12:31. You just daven Shachris. Ma'ariv, you have the early Ma'ariv, 4:35. It's not dark yet. It is dark yet. The line of Kamina. You'll say Shema later. You won't. You forget. You this and that. You just daven. You daven 1,000 times. It's the same thing. You already know what's going to happen. It's so predictable. You know after Slach Lanu Avinu, you're going to say Ki Chatanu. After Mechal Lanu Avinu, Ki Pashanu, you know somebody's going to clap you in the heart. There was once a guy who was davening Shemon Esrei. He was mamish in the upper worlds. And all of a sudden, he felt somebody punched him twice in the heart. And then he realized, oh, I'm on Slach Lanu. Sometimes we're just in a different world. Oh, Slach Lanu. Oh, we bow down. It's Modim. We know it's Modim, like the Yerushalmi says. One of the rabbis said, I thank my head. It knows when to go down at Modim. I'm not there. But my head knows automatically, Modim, Anachnu, Lo, Bam, Bam. So, that's the Hasidim Harishon. So now we're going to see a little bit more inside from Moran Arav. This is the Ein Hayah. If you have the Sefer, at home, in the office, wherever you may be, page 127. Again, I thank my Chavrusa, Rabbeinu Aaron Yisrael, Ben Moshe Mordechai Fait, with whom I learned this, and a transatlantic Chavrusa. So we thank Steve Jobs and Bill Gates and all the Cheverlach for developing computers so we could learn Torah. That's why they developed it. Just ask them. Well, certainly ask Steve Jobs where he is now. He'll be able to tell you. In any event, Abba Pisha Lefi Midat Kol Adam Dai B'Koved Rosh. For the average man, a heavy head is enough. Anawagah, as they write enough in English. Dahainu Shilton HaSechel Af Al Pi Shemidotav HaTiviyot Od Einan Fonot Ba'atzman El HaTov. That is the ruling of the head, of the intellect. Because your natural character and feelings and emotions and qualities are not yet so holy. So the average man is mashlit the sechel. He makes the head zaholer. אבל מידתן של החסידים הראשונים הייתה נעלה מזה. But the earlier Hasidim, those pious, righteous people, they were different. הם לא מצאו די לשלמותם בהרמת מעלת השכל והשלטתו. It wasn't enough for them to elevate the faculty of the mind to influence the rest of the body. ולהניח את הלב שהוא שורש המידות הטבעיות בטבעו הבהמי. And just to leave the heart in its natural animalistic state, because that's what human emotion is. Very often it follows the path of the animal. An animal walking on 2 feet. We see that quite a bit in society, without going too much into detail. If you can catch my drift. Ki im shohim sha'a achat. They would wait for an hour, liyasher darkei tiv'am, to straighten their natural qualities, which is their heart, to their Father in heaven. That naturally they should become spiritual beings and know that they are noichach pinei Hashem. They are facing HaKadosh Baruch Hu kiviyachol in the face. ותחת אשר ציור השכל עושה מעשיו בחיפזון ואין צריך לו זמן רב. And unlike the brain that works very quickly, in a second you can make a cheshbon, people think things. It's like the blink of an eyelash, the way the human mind works. Much faster than a computer. Pile close. And who made this machine? Who made this machine that works so fast? Doesn't have to have a circle going round and around until you chop something like the computer. Kadosh Baruch Hu. wonder of wonders. So the brain works fast because it's not chomri, but the heart, which is chomri, which is materialistic, which is emotion, which is feeling. Oh, you feel this. Now I feel like I don't want to get out of bed in the morning. My brain is telling me I have to daven, but my feelings, my emotions are saying, but I'm so tired. So you go back to sleep. People feel, oh, I'm in love with this girl, I want to marry her. Maybe she's not Jewish. Yeah, but I'm feeling, it's chumrius. I want to eat this cheeseburger. It's chumrius. I don't want to learn today. I want to relax. I want to kick back with a Budweiser beer and watch Gentiles wearing their underwear, jumping up and down, showing their armpits, and screaming at the top of their lungs, defense! Defense! But that's the chumri. Because your seichel knows that at 120 yor, when you get to 120 years, in the oilam shekulo tov, that those 3 hours that you spent watching them show their armpits to the world is going to be a worthless exercise in watching nonsense. But that's the chomer! That's the chomer! Ich verstehe es auch chomer. Ich bin euch a shtickle chomer. You know what I mean? When I'm basar v'dogim. You know what I mean? I'm also a human being. What, I'm talking like a malach? No malach. I understand exactly what I speak. Don't worry, Morai Rabbi say. You don't have to be choshek b'ksherim that I'm such a holy angel. I'm not. My mother, when I was a little boy, she used to call me angel. Come angel, go angel, Ali, you're an angel. But we realized after a while the true depth of reality set in, and I realized that I'm really not an angel. In my mother's eyes, of course, I am, like most little boys are in their mother's eyes. But I think after a while, my mother realized also that I'm not an angel. But that's definitely for another time. We can talk about that privately. In any event, אבל הלב שטבוע בנושא החומרי לא דרוש זמן הגון לברר כוחותיו ונטיותיו ולהכינם אל הטוב. But the heart, which is a physical being, which is tibiastic, which is so drowned in the world of nature, that needs an hour to get it ready, to direct itself to Hashem. So koved rosh, that's midas kol adam, that's immediate. But the chavinus livam shebashamayim, which is the higher madrega, that requires a lot of time, and that's dafka, the chasidim harishonim. So we should be zoche mirza Hashem, that our seichel should be mechuven klapei ma'ala, which is an easier avodah, but ultimately that our lave, our feeling, our emotion, our passion, yes, ladies and gentlemen, I will use the word at the risk of being stoned by the more moderate of this crowd, the fanaticism should also be in the heart, directing all of your love and your passion towards HaKadosh Baruch Hu. To daven as a Jew should truly daven. Tefillah being, as we mentioned, an avodah shebelev. It's Hashem, we should all be zocheh, and we'll be zocheh to continue these shiurim, which are brought to you by the Yeshiva de Gedolah of Skype, Baruch Hashem, where we have recorded shiurim given by yours truly, and transatlantic chavrusas, which are also conducted, Baruch Hashem. We have, Baruch Hashem, some very good chavrusas. We're very zocheh. Some of you are watching. Some of you are not. Some of you just got in your email box that Google wants to send you a message that Elchonon Ehrman is going to be standing on your computer for 15 minutes and telling you how to daven, and you're debating, should I watch this or should I go get myself a fudge sundae? And if you're watching this, then you probably elected to do both at the same time. So I wish everybody a bon appetit, a b'te'avon, tzadik oichel l'sei v'nafsho. You should always eat in good health and good delicious things, and afterwards when you work off the poundage, you should be zochem it's Hashem to always remain good and skinny and healthy, and we'll be zochem to learn a lot more Torah together, beloved, sweetest friends. Shalom, shalom.